The first thing we have to do today is draw our leaf shape. When you get your warm colored paper, you want to make sure that your leaf shape takes up as much of the paper as possible. We want a really, really big leaf. So after you have practiced a few leaf shapes, you can draw it on your paper. And we really want to make sure that we love the shape of our leaf before we cut it out. I might even draw the veins so that I can see how it will look when I'm done. Awesome. Now, when you love, love, love your leaf, you are going to select your background color. Your background color should be the complementary color of the leaf that you chose. That means the color across the color wheel. So I selected an orange leaf, so my background is blue. Before I cut my leaf out, I'm putting the smaller paper in the middle of the background and I'm using it to trace a frame. This is going to be kind of a little easy shortcut to make sure that our lines of our frame are nice and straight. Now, after you have traced your smaller rectangle, now we can cut our leaf out. And I actually have one here that I've already done. If you can see pencil lines around your leaf, then just go ahead and flip it over and use the opposite side. I always feel like that's a little bit easier than erasing. Now I'm going to fit this leaf inside the small rectangle frame that I traced, and then I'm going to use just a few tiny glue dots to glue my leaf down. You really, really do not need a lot. I'm not even gonna put any in the middle, just a few around the edge. Carefully center it in the frame. There we go. Now we're ready to start outlining with black paint. We're going to be using a really, really small detail brush today, along with just some plain black paint. Now for this activity, we're really going to be focusing on brush control, meaning we can stay right on the lines and make a nice, neat black outline. So I'm just going to kind of set my paint off to the side where I can easily reach it. And I'm gonna dip my brush, and the first thing I can outline is the frame that I did. So I'm just really going kind of slow to make sure that I stay right on the line. And when my brush mark starts to get a little bit of that scratchy, dried out look, that means I need to get a new dip of paint. Don't want those dry brush marks to be showing up on our outline. And I'm just going to keep on going until I have outlined my entire frame. Notice how my brush is making a pulling motion, not a scrubbing back and forth motion. Once you've outlined your background, we're also going to outline around the shape of our leaf as well as the vein lines that we drew inside. Now this part is going to be just a little bit trickier because you have to make sure that you don't set your hand down on the black paint that's already wet. So I'm holding my hand sort of up above the paint, and I'm just setting my hand down in areas that don't have wet paint. That's why I like to save the veins for last, so that I can still set my hand here as I do all these other important outlines. All right, my whole leaf is outlined along with the veins in the middle of the leaf. The last thing that you can do that is optional is if you want to do a few more lines to break up the background of your project a little bit, you may do that. So I just like to start with lines that come out from my leaf and then touch the frame. I'm only gonna add maybe 6 or 7 lines, not too many, because I want a lot of space inside of these areas to be able to do some really cool dots later on. When your black lines are done, we're going to leave our painting to dry so that it will be ready to get some Aboriginal dots next time.